StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Hello, namaskar, namaskara, namaskaram, namaskar. My name is Pooja Devedi. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. We not only tell you how to tackle the important news, but how to apply the information that you gather through that news in UPSC Civil Services Preliminary Examination. My sole goal over here is to teach you how to gather the information and apply it in the upcoming UPSC Preliminary Examination. So, before I begin, I would like to tell you about a course that we are launching. This is Prelims to Interview course. It will be live classes starting from 19th of June onwards, and it will be from 6 p.m. in the evening. How we are different from other courses? Let me just give you a gist of that. We will give you not only the study materials, the live classes, the doubt sessions, but also one-on-one mentorship. Everybody is different and unique, as in some of you must be office goers, some of you must be in college, some of you must be even homemakers right now. So you will have a customized plan. Even mothers who are preparing for this examination, you can definitely do it if you have a customized plan, study plan. And how to make a strategy according to that, we will tell you with the help of our Gyanvani and mentorship as well. Other than this, I have lots of hopes for you. If you crack Prelims 2024, you will be called to the StudyIQ campus for a mains residential program. So without any distraction, you can prepare there for mains. 3 months, within the span of 3 months, no distractions at all. We will take care of you at our campus. And if you want to avail this course costs just ₹60,000. But if you use the code TDLive, it will be made available to you at 29,999 only. Please hurry up, please. And go to the StudyIQ website. Then we will see you at StudyIQ campus for MRP. Now, these are the various events that I'm going to cover here step by step. Many events today, and since the past few hours I watched the news. It's an eventful day today. So that is why we are going to cover all this. Consider the following statements with respect to Defence Acquisition Council. It is headed by the Chief of Defence Staff. It was established post the Indo-Pak War of 1971, and it meets once every 3 months to make the necessary decision. How many statements given above is or are correct? So this kind of statement has been, very scary to students, because earlier we had elimination techniques. So we used to eliminate it and we hailed it as a very intellectual trick. UPSC saw everybody on YouTube doing that. So what did it do? It eliminated the elimination trick. So we are also going to do the same. So consider the following statements with respect to Defence Acquisition Council. It is actually headed by the Defence Minister and not the Chief of Defence Staff. So that becomes incorrect. It was actually established post the Kargil War of 1999, and it meets according to the needs. There is no stipulated month or time period in which it can meet. So first is incorrect, second is incorrect, third is also incorrect. As we had to select which ones are correct, none of the statement is correct. Okay. The Defence Acquisition Council recently has approved the procurement of Predator unmanned aerial vehicles from General Atomics from the USA, so that we can flank off Chinese presence, Pakistani presence in our territory. The procurement of the drone was chaired at the meeting of the Defence Acquisition Council, which was chaired by the Defence Minister. We are going to acquire 31 unmanned aerial vehicles. 15 will be given to the Navy, rest will be divided between the Army and the Air Force. Estimated cost just $3 billion. And this will also include maintenance and overhaul of UAVs so that we become modernized. Now, this Defence Acquisition Council came into existence through the recommendations which was made by a group of ministers in 2001. This was named as Reforming the National Security System, because we could see that those countries which talked about supporting each other through difficult times were not supporting us during the Kargil War. So what happens that we had to ensure that we technologically become good and better with each passing year. So that is why post-Kargil War that reckoned on us. It's a separate, dedicated structure for defense procurement, the Defence Acquisition Council. The basic aim in having a Defence Acquisition Council is, of course, to lead to better time cost management. There is a dedicated batch only for this. So when that is a dedicated batch, whenever we have a dedicated batch for something, there is efficiency. So for that, and also build up institutional memory. That means I might have acquired something from some country for some dollars, but I do not remember it. An institution, when when we are trying to become a very modern state when it comes to defense structure, we need institutional memory as well. It also helps obtain better value for money because, of course, I have a separate wing. They will research about certain things more. They will know about certain things more. That is why they will be better at negotiating. Okay. It meets as and when required. It is the highest decision-making body of the Defense Ministry on procurement. Remember that. Okay. Moving ahead. All the other functions are also included here. If you want the PDF of this, I will provide it to you on my StudyIQ UPSC channel. That is Pooja Divedi, StudyIQ UPSC Telegram channel. If you have any question, talk to me on Instagram. Consider the following statements. The average global temperature in 2022 was about 1.15 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. 2015 to 2022 are the 8 warmest years on record, and an exceptionally strong El Nino event occurred in 2016, which led to the record global temperatures there. This year also, after 7 years, El Nino has occurred. And it is so damn hot. We can see it. We can feel it. Even I'm sweating right now. You wouldn't believe the room temperature AC that I have right now. It's 16 degrees Celsius. It's not working. And yes, I got it checked. So, consider the following statements. The average global temperature in 2022 was about 1.15 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. We hear so much about pre-industrial level. What is pre-industrial level? Is there a time period? Yes, there is. That is 1850 to 1900. This is the pre-industrial level. If any question comes like this in your interview as well, you can answer it. It's between 1850 and 1900. And yes, the first statement is definitely correct. 2015 to 2022 are the 8 warmest years on record consecutively, one after the other. An exceptionally strong El Nino occurred in 2016 that caused record global temperatures. That is also correct. All 3 are actually correct. All 3 statements is going to be the correct answer. So, recently, a research has been published by the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast. It is saying for the first few days of June, global mean temperature were more than 1.5 degrees Celsius higher than pre-industrial averages. And this is for the first time that it has happened during summers. Earlier also, global temperatures were exceeded beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius. But it was mainly during winters. And this is a cause of concern. Maybe because it is El Nino for this year, this is happening. Daily global temperatures did exceed the industrial average by more than 1.5 degrees Celsius, but only in the winters. The thing is, it has happened for the first time in this year, not in this year only, but consecutively so many warm years, that for the first time, summer temperatures have gone beyond this. Moving ahead. This threshold was first exceeded in December 2015. I'm talking about winters as well. Then repeatedly in the northern hemisphere winters and springs of 2016 and 20. The average global temperature in 2022 was about 1.15 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, because Paris Agreement says we have to keep the temperatures below 1.5 degrees Celsius, preferably between 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius. But the threshold is exceeding day by day. 2022 is the 8th consecutive year that annual global temperatures have reached at least 1 degree Celsius above pre-industrial levels. So since the past few many years, we are seeing global temperatures exceeding their threshold, which is not a good case. 2015 to 2022 warmest year on record, and the likelihood of breaching the 1.5 degrees Celsius limit of the Paris Agreement is increasing by time, with every year, day by day, year by year. But this is temporarily in nature, although the presence of a cooling effect that La Nina did for 2022, still it was one of the warmest years. It could be a 5th or a 6th warmest year on record. And the warmest 8 years, all that have been since 2015, 3 years stand out: 2016, 2019, 2020. So you have to understand that 2023 is also going to be one of the warmest years on record. We can feel it. An exceptionally strong El Nino event occurred in 2016, and this year also El Nino has occurred. If you want to know about El Nino, I have covered it on my English channel, on the StudyIQ English channel. You can go and watch it there. From north to south, arrange the following islands of the Pacific. Marshall Island, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, New Caledonia. This was so much in the news, right? Because of James Marape touching Modi ji's feet and other than that as well. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's talk about this. See, these are the many, events that we are going to cover map-based. Because if it is related to any country, we are going to cover it through maps only. We have to choose from the given codes. Why have I asked you this question? An agreement was signed between Papua New Guinea and USA to have an access to the ports of Papua New Guinea. And that is why this question is important. That is why this question has been asked. The US military now can develop and operate out of bases in Papua New Guinea. It is with the help of the agreement that Papua New Guinea did, although there was a lot of criticism that now Papua New Guinea will become a region where countries will actually, on the shoulders of Papua New Guinea, try to shoot each other. But James Marape said that we know that it is because of the national interest of the USA. USA is doing that. But we have to ensure that we remain relevant. And the United States now will be able to station troops and vessels at 6 key ports and airports. How many? 6. One of the most important ones are the Lombrum Naval Base on Manus Island and facilities in the capital of Papua New Guinea, that is Port Moresby. So if we talk about the map, Manus Islands, here is the Manus Islands. You can see here is Papua New Guinea. And Manus Islands is really very interesting because in the times of World War, during the times of World War II and First, it was used by many important countries to anchor their ships. Japanese ships, USA, Britain, Germany, many important ports of Manus Islands were used by these countries. Also, during the times of World War, it was one of the largest port for the USA to station the ship, to port their ships over here. Okay, and that is why this region becomes important. And Port Moresby, as you can see, it is the capital of Papua New Guinea. Okay, remember that. So, what happens is that China is trying to assert its powers in the Pacific Ocean. USA has come into an agreement because of that. Even India did visit. For the first time ever, a prime minister visited Papua New Guinea. And that's why it was so important. Washington now would have the unimpeded access to the site. Unimpeded means no prohibition at all. To pre-position equipment, supplies and material, have exclusive, keyword is exclusive, not sharing, but exclusive, use of some zones, another key point, not all, but some, where development and construction activities could be carried out. So here is Papua New Guinea. Now let's answer this question. Marshall Islands are over here, then Papua New Guinea is over here, then Vanuatu is over here, and New Caledonia of France here. First, Marshall Islands, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, New Caledonia. Let us see our options. Yes, Marshall Islands, then Papua New Guinea, then Vanuatu, and then New Caledonia. 1, 3, 2, 4 is the correct answer. Let us see. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Option C here is the correct answer. Let's move ahead to the next question. The 105th Constitutional Amendment Act is related to Finance Bill, socially and educationally backward classes, exchange of enclaves with Bangladesh, and National Judicial Appointments Commission. I hope you can answer this question. See, 105th Constitutional Amendment Bill. First, here also we can use elimination techniques. How? That first is NJAC, it was struck down. It was the 99th Amendment Act. It was struck down by the Apex Court, saying that it is against the basic structure of the Constitution. Exchange of enclaves with Bangladesh took place in 2015 with the help of the 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. Finance Bill? No. But yes, socially and educationally backward classes? Yes. Because through the 105th Amendment Act, the powers were given back to the state to state which sectors or which castes are socially and educationally backwards. Okay, the powers were given to the state government. Now approximately 80 more castes from 6 states will be a part of the central list of the OBC, and the National Commission for Backward Classes are already processing the approval for this. Addition has happened from as many as 16 communities in the central list of OBCs from Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. Now the current 40 groups which will be added will be from Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab and Haryana. The Telangana government has said that they need 40 communities to be added to the list, and Andhra Pradesh says Turup Kapo community should be added. Himachal Pradesh talks about the Majra community. Maharashtra says Lodhi, Lingayat, Bhoyar, Pawar, Jhanse community should be added. In Haryana, it should be Gosai or Gosai community, and from Punjab, the Yadav community. So, it could be asked in your question, in your preliminary examination, to match the communities which could be a backward class in the states. So, remember this. Okay, you will have to remember this because, of course, it could be asked. Now, currently, there are over 2,650 different communities that have been added in the central OBC list from state and the union territories. What is the procedure? According to the NCBC Act of 1993, first, what will happen? The proposal has been given by the states and union territories. The commission is now constitute a bench to examine should they be added in the list or not. After that, they will forward this decision to the union government. If there is a possibility of dissent, that means if they are not agreeing with certain points of the bench, they can do so. Then the cabinet accordingly will send the approval and bring the legislation or the law to this effect in the parliament. After this, it will be going to the president, and then the president will notify the change in the gazette. This is the procedure. The 105th Constitutional Amendment was notified on August 19 and it aimed at restoring to the states the power to identify socially and educationally backward classes. Remember that the power is with the state according to the 105th Amendment Act that was done in 2021. Alright, now with respect to Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, consider the following statements. Myanmar and Bhutan joined together in 2007. The BIMSTEC Charter was adopted in the year 2022 and makes it a full-fledged organization. If you are, very well versed with current affairs, then only you can do this. Which of the statements given above are not correct? Yes, if we talk about BIMSTEC, Myanmar joined in 1997. Okay, Bhutan and Nepal together joined in 2004. So first statement becomes incorrect. We have to select not correct ones only. BIMSTEC Charter, yes, was brought out in 2022, which made it a full-fledged organization. Before that, it was, you can say it wasn't institutionalized. Now it is institutionalized. It was working as a group. Now it is an organization. So first statement is incorrect. Second is correct. One only will be the correct answer because we had to select the not correct one. Now the Bay of Bengal Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation by the end of this year will bring a Bangkok Vision 2030, which will be overreaching or overarching kind of document, which will give direction to the organization, where the organization has to go, and the eminent person group would also be guided by that only. Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation came into existence in 1997 on 6 June as a regional organization by signing of the Bangkok Declaration. And initially it was known as BIMSTEC, that means Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Alright, so founding members were these: Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Remember this. After that, when Myanmar joined it, it came to be known as BIMSTEC, and then Bhutan and Nepal joined in February 2004. In 2022, we had a charter for BIMSTEC, which lays the foundation for it to function as a full-fledged organization. Remember that. Next, with respect to the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, consider the following statements. It is the principal entity, that means the main entity, for infrastructure financing in the country, which was set up in 2020. The RBI governor is the default chairman, and it is the 5th all India financial institution in the country. You have to remember how many all India financial institutions are there, and remember their grades as well. So, how many statements given above are not correct? In the nervousness of the examination, you can do the correct ones. So, be very mindful when you read it. It is the principal entity that is correct for what? For infrastructure financing, for long-term infrastructure financing. Infrastructure is one of the key sectors which generates a lot of employment. So, we have a dedicated body for that. That is the National Bank for Financing and Development. And it was set up in 2021, not 2020. RBI governor is not the default chairman. That is a very tricky statement that could be asked in your examination. And yes, it is the 5th all India financial institution in the country. This is correct. So first is not correct, second is not correct, only third is correct. We had to select how many statements are not correct. 1 and 2 are not correct, right? So 2 statements only will be the correct answer. Now, why have I asked you this question? Because National Bank for Financial Infrastructure and Development did its issuance of bonds for the first time. and it raised rupees 10,000 through it. And it was set up by the way of NABFID Act of 2021, which was passed by the Parliament on March 28, 2021. It is the principal entity for infrastructure development and primarily established. Primarily means what is the main aim? There could be other aims, but what is the first aim of it? To support the development of long-term infrastructure. Those infrastructure which is an asset for a longer term, it does for that. The development of the bonds and derivatives market which is necessary for these kind of infrastructure development, that is also overseen by this particular bank. It is regulated by the RBI actually as an all India financial institution. Who regulates it? The RBI. But the constitution of the entity's body goes like this, that the chairman is appointed by the central government in consultation with the RBI. There is also managing director which is appointed by the board. Up to 3 deputy managing directors can be there, and 2 directors from central government should be there. Up to 3 directors which are appointed by the shareholders, and up to 3 independent directors. This is the constitution. RBI governor who is consulted by the central government, then chairman is appointed, and it is the 5th sector specific AIFI in the country. Next, with respect to Guru Arjun Dev, consider the following statements. Arjun Dev had laid the foundation of Golden Temple and also prepared the map of the temple. He compiled the Adi Granth and established the Khalsa. We are talking about the 5th Sikh Guru, remember that. So how many statements given above are not correct? First statement, if we talk about, is definitely correct, but because he had laid the foundation of the Golden Temple. That is definitely correct. In 1688. And he also prepared the map of the temple. He compiled the Adi Granth. That is also correct. And he established the Khalsa is not correct, because that was done by Guru Gobind Singh and not Arjun Dev Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Okay, moving ahead. 1 is correct, 2 is correct, but not the 3rd. 1 statement only will be the correct answer because we had to select the not correct ones, right? Option A. Now today is the martyrdom day of Guru Arjun Dev Ji, and that is why we have asked you this question. Today is a significant day in that manner. He was born in Goindwal Sahib, Taran Taran in India. His maternal grandfather was Guru Amar Das and father Guru Ram Das. And Guru Arjan Dev's son was Hargobind Singh Ji, and he was the first of the 2 Sikh Gurus who were martyred. He completed the construction of the Golden Temple in Amritsar. The door of the temple on all sides signified the acceptance of all 4 castes and religions, as believed by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. He also compiled the Adi Granth, which was later known as Guru Granth Sahib, and it was installed at Harmandir Sahib. He was captured by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir in 1606. Why? Why? Because Sikhism was spreading at a very fast rate, and in order to contain it, this was done. He was imprisoned in the Lahore fort, and it is also believed that he blessed the emperor's rebellious son Khusro, which did not sit well with Jahangir. Guru Arjan Dev was made to sit on a burning hot sheet plate, and hot sand was poured over him. After 5 days of immense torture, he was taken to bathe in the river. After that, he was never seen. So today is Martyrdom Day. Now, miscellaneous. Atrayapuram Puta Rekulu from Andhra Pradesh, which has recently received the GI tag, belongs to, it belongs to Andhra Pradesh, but it is what? What is it? A variety of lotus, an edible dish, a toy, or a wearable cloth. It is an edible dish, something you can eat, which is made of sweet. It is a sweet which is made of rice and jaggery. It is meaning, right now it has a GI tag, which means that the production of this is confined only to Atrayapuram village on the banks of the Godavari river in Konaseema district of Andhra Pradesh. Remember this. It is sweet variety which is brought under the food category. What is a geographical indication? A geographical indication is a tag which shows that a commodity, which can be either natural, man-made or agricultural, belongs to one origin, and because of that origin it has a special quality. This is what layman definition is. And it possesses the quality or reputation that are due to that place of origin. That is why there is a relationship between the geography and the commodity. In addition, the qualities, characteristics or reputation of the product should be essentially because of that place only. That is why it is important for us to understand the relationship. Since the qualities depend on the geographical place of production, that is why geographical indication is necessary to safeguard the manufacturing capacities. It all works according to the standards of protection and safeguarding of geographical indication under the Paris Convention for Protection of Industrial Property 1883, which includes trademarks, industrial design, trade names, service marks, geographical indication. So remember this for this. And after that, it is followed by the Madrid Agreement for repression of false or deceptive indication of source of goods 1891. And these are international instruments which focus on geographical, primarily focus on geographical indications, geographical origin. India, according to that only, has geographical indication goods rules of 2002. And here the term geographical indication has been provided under section 2E, which says that a commodity could be there or a product could be there as a natural good, agricultural good or manufacturing good concerning the place of region. You can even manufacture it. It can be natural or it can be agricultural. Okay, remember that. Now, if you want the telegram of this, you can contact me on my telegram channel, that is Pooja Dwivedi StudyIQ UPSC, or talk to me on Instagram about UPSC. Alright, thank you so much for watching.
StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।